my fellow Zenites. I do hope that you can hear me today. I'm Conrad Zen, former Bitcoin Foundation member and founder for pZen, the crypto asset that gives you the passive income system you've always wanted. Now, it is often said that those that forget the past are condemned to make the same mistakes in the future. So what am I talking about? Well, look at this. What do you think the connection here is between this fine breakfast rum and the Declaration of American Independence? While you ponder that, I'll just pour myself a small dram and hope you're all doing very well today, and maybe a one in the chat to make sure that you can actually hear me. So if anybody says, give us a one in the chat, I'll carry on. Otherwise, I'll just have a quick drink. Quick one in the chat, just type one, anybody, so I know that you can actually hear me today. Problems with the sound card yesterday was a disaster, which is why the video had to be deleted. Fantastic, looks like we have a one in the chat. So did anybody work it out? What is the connection between this amazing Admiral Rodney rum and the Declaration of American Independence? Well, let me tell you, in 1782, Admiral Rodney routed the French in a famous naval battle near the island of Guadeloupe, and they routed them completely. And with that in their back pocket, they went to the negotiating table in Paris with the thought that they had the upper hand. Unfortunately for them, they didn't have all the facts and figures behind them. They didn't understand the relationship between the French, the Spanish, and what was about to happen with Canada. And they came away from those negotiations losing most of their Caribbean territories. Fast forward to today, a bit of a tenuous link, but fast forward to today, we have a Federal Reserve, which is constructing a plan which is based on incomplete knowledge. I mean, look what they're doing. So, for those of you who don't know what the Fed plan is and how it's going to affect you, here is what the media is not focused on. You see, the Fed took a position that inflation would be contained by supply chain issues being resolved. So when inflation figures indicated that it was out of control at 9% plus, and indeed real inflation that we all suffer was closer to 20%, they started to panic. So here is their plan. They aim to stifle demand by causing an economic catastrophe. Their first tool to bring down inflation is to sell the trillions of government bonds they've accumulated over the past few years. Now, the problem with that is that the market for these bonds has three main buyers: the Fed, commercial banks, and foreign governments. And if you want to know what that looks like, see the previous video when we talk about the Ponzi scheme that is the Federal Reserve. Now, the reversal in demand from each of these three different investors types is shocking. Nobody wants to buy these bonds. And so the only way they're going to be able to sell the bonds is by raising the interest rates on the government bonds. They will have to go up to attract the buyers. And that means that interest rates on everything else goes up. The housing market. Mortgage rates go up, less people can afford to buy a home. For the Fed, that equals less demand for homes, which means a home price collapse. Jerome Powell has stated he wants to see a housing market correction. He might get his wish. Businesses will stop taking out loans to expand because it's too expensive to borrow money. Less expansion equals less hiring equals less wage inflation. Less expansion means businesses will purchase less equipment, they'll rent less office space, they will buy less, the supplies that they buy will be less, and therefore demand equals lower inflation. Now, the Federal Reserve thought inflation would be transitory, and they've left it far too late to apply the sledgehammer tools they have. There is no fine-tuning in their toolkit. Now, the next thing is that the stock market could collapse with what the Fed is doing, because without easy money, without the quantitative easing, I mean, let's face it, 92% of all of the printed money over the past few years has gone into the stock market. It didn't go into your pocket, it certainly didn't go into my pocket. And so now, high interest rates plus quantitative tightening will collapse the market. And if it does collapse, an awful lot of people are going to be hurt. The first thing that's going to happen is that retirement accounts are going to be decimated. Nobody is going to be able to afford to retire. People will lose money in the stock market, especially retail investors. And of course, that's devastating enough, but it also means that the tax revenues fall, which puts more pressure on the government budget. Interest rates are going to keep going up. Quantitative tightening will continue because the Fed needs to create a disaster to actually get rid of inflation. And that is what is panicking everybody. It is a disaster scenario in the making. Any one of those three things coming true will be extremely painful. And of course, what may happen is that the Fed will say, well, you either want a Great Depression or we start printing money. And the whole cycle continues yet again. We need an alternative system. We need a great reset tool. You see, wealth isn't scarce. Look at this graphic of the world's wealth. The problem is we need to redistribute that wealth in a more equitable way. And we need a new system of money, which is why we came up with the Web 3.0 socially engineered token called pZen. It is the Great Wealth Reset tool. Watch this video to see how it actually works. Okay, so some of you are already in pZen, some of you are not. But look, let's reiterate, the Fed is already acting on their plan. They are trying to sell trillions of dollars worth of government bonds. The problem is that the buyer of government bonds is the Fed, who aren't buying, they're selling. And then the other buyers are sovereign nations. Now, sovereign nations are not interested. They've got their own problems. So the only way it's going to work for the Fed is if they raise the interest rates on these bonds. And when they do that, the mortgage rates goes up. And when that happens, less people can afford homes and we have a housing market collapse. Not only that, the stock market is going to collapse. It's already started to happen. The pain is about to be felt by every retail investor. And of course, we are not immune in the crypto market. We are in a crypto bear market. So it is extremely fortunate that we have pZen. But I don't think that everybody really understands the power of compound interest within this protocol. So let's just go through the secrets of what's happening behind the scenes. Look, this is the basic formula for finding out how much of the reward you get per day. I'm going to base all of these facts and figures around the idea that you managed to accumulate 1 million pZen. Now, right now, because we're all so early, it's doable for everybody. You know, it's at this price, you are right at the very beginning. So these are today's figures. We have a turnover of around $50,000 US. I know it's much more than that, but we'll just base these figures on this, and we're assuming a low price of 0.007. Now, watch what happens. We've said that we've got 1 million pZen, and we get a PIF per day about 238. We'll round it up to 250. So if we look at the numbers, okay, 250 pZen at a price today of 0.006. That equals 1.5 US dollars a day interest, which is 547 US dollars per year. And, you know, you got in early, you already accumulated your million pZen at an astonishing low price of 48, which means that you paid $4,800. Now, if you do the math, that works out to a very nice 11.4%. Now, that's not bad. In fact, in this market, that's pretty good. But you have to understand the power of this compounding reward system. Here's your 1,250 pZen, right? But the thing is, it doesn't compound every month. It doesn't compound every week. It compounds after every transaction. Let that sink in. It compounds after every transaction. And what this means is your percentage of the market share goes up. So your 1,250 pZen, the next transaction, you owned more of the total market share because the market share was limited to 880 million tokens at the very beginning. Clearly, lots of that has been burnt. And so you own a bigger percentage after every transaction. Not only that, we have the burn function. And with the burn function, it means that with every transaction, you own even more, but your market share goes up again. And this is the magic of this compounding reward system within pZen. It is the secret power of pZen that not many people have really got to grips with yet. So, let's throw some figures in here. This is today. Okay, so let's just say that now we realize it's 500 pZen that we're getting on average. And the price, well, let's just bump the price up to 0.01. And now we're getting $5 a day interest. That's $1,825 a year. You bought for $4,800. Do the math and look what that works out to. 38% APY. Does that number ring a bell? Yeah, 38% APY. That is astonishing. That is astonishing. This is the great wealth reset for you. It's the wealth redistribution. Wealth is not scarce. It just needs a better redistribution system. The power of this is magical. Now, let's go crazy. Okay? Now, I'm known for my balls of steel, not my crystal ball. So none of this is I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but it is entirely possible. And let's have some fun with this. Later on, when the volume increases, as it will, we will get more eyeballs on this project. I am going to do my utmost to do that. And of course, there's all of you. And you can do your bit as well, because it's your coin after all. But if you just have some fun, and we say now that the volume's gone up, and now we're achieving 2,380 pZen. Keep the price at a fairly realistic low 0.07. Even at that, that means, as long as I've done the math correctly, that you're going to make $166 a day. $166 a day on your 1 million pZen that you bought. That's $60,800 per year. Do the math on that, and it works out to a staggering 1,266%. 1,266%. I'm telling you, this is absolutely phenomenal. Now, of course, these are just play around numbers. We have no idea whether this will happen, but what it does show you is the power of this system. It is no mistake that Warren Buffett said that compounding interest is the 8th wonder of the world. And pZen does this for you on steroids. But look, we've only just talked about the compound interest. I pulled up this chart this morning to see what was happening with the price of pZen. With, us being so early into the project, just 50 days into it. But look at this graph. I've taken a comparison, price action over the same time period for pZen, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Hex. And let's look at the numbers. Bitcoin down 20%. Ethereum down 31%. Hex down 47%. Pulse, yes, we're down. We're in a bear market, but it's only down 0.01%. For me, I am extremely happy with the performance of pZen so far. There is only one way to go from here, and that is up. And that, of course, is all down to you and me and everybody who's involved in the pZen token. So I hope you've been able to hear me today. Obviously, problems with the sound card yesterday. No draw, of course, today. That happens every Saturday. The 3 winners from yesterday were notified, and another 80,000 pZen will be winging its way through the Ethereum system and will hit your wallets, the 3 winners, that is, before midnight UTC on Monday, which is just the way it goes. So, slange you are, everybody. Royal Oak, distilled and blended here in St. Lucia. The locals have asked me to promote this and not whiskey. Don't know why, but anyway, it's very nice. So, I am now going to take a few minutes to answer your questions in the chat. I'm going to be fairly quick today because I've turned off the air conditioning in this room. It is at least 110 degrees and there is no breeze out there today at all. Oh, the problems of living in the Caribbean. So I'm just going to say hello to a few people. Let's go back in the chat a little way. Jackra, hello Jackra. Sharon Lund, hello to you. Crypto Heartbeat, hello there. Crypto Heartbeat and I are supposed to be having a chat online sometime this week where we'll be talking about his ideas for the, I think it's the independence of Texas. A very interesting idea. He's launched a token to do that, and we'll hopefully be going through pZen as well and having a very good old chat, hopefully. Growing wallet balance is a good thing, CG. Tan Nguyen, will this token do 10,000 or die? Well, I don't think it's going to die. this protocol is it's immutable. The code is going to run forever. And it will run on any chain that it's on. Stressful Struggle says, hopefully today's stream is better than yesterday's. Yes, thank you, Stressful Struggle. Crypto Dust, hello. LGS, hello. CG, hello. Thomas Crowhurst, hello. Lawrence Miller, hello. Andreas van Wyk, hello. Harvester of Sorrow. That sounds very sad. Austin AWA, hello to you. Crypto Steve, Roof Dog, Midnight Madness, Crypto Ethos, Nihilus23, smash the like button, he says. Absolutely. And look, that is a very low cost way for you to spread the word. All you have to do is go and subscribe, like, comment on all my YouTube videos, all my tweets, and of course, all the other content producers. There are several of them now producing amazing content all about pZen. You would be surprised how much clout that will achieve if you all go and like and subscribe and retweet and all that sort of jazz. It's free. It's free advertising. Look, I know it's hard work. You've got to press a couple of buttons in order to pump your own bags. But look, this is crypto. It's so much hard work. Peter Hintegrer says hi. Hello. Tail7 says hello. Lawrence Miller says hello. Stressful Struggle says the stream is good today. Thank you, Stressful Struggle. So, bearing in mind how warm it is in here, any burning questions about pZen? I think we've covered everything. I've explained the secrets of the compound interest here. And, you know, I'm so excited for everyone here. This is undoubtedly the most amazing protocol that's been launched. Look, it's called pZen for a reason. When I said I was the founder of pulsechain, of course, tongue in cheek, but, you know, we've all donated money to get pulsechain up and running, and it's just not here. That's why we launched pZen on Ethereum. And little did we know that it would be doubled again on the ETH proof of work chain. And of course, there's another Ethereum fork as well. But going forward, you know, we have to concentrate on what we think is going to give us the best economic benefit, which will be here on Ethereum and of course pulsechain when it launches. My own theory is we are not going to see pulsechain much before Q1 2023, probably Q2. So that's a very long way away. And in the meantime, we can make people a lot more money rather than just sitting around waiting for pulsechain to launch, which is one of the reasons why we did it, let alone what's happening with the world's economies. So any other burning technical questions that I can answer for you now? Otherwise, I'll call it an afternoon. Midnight Madness keeps asking, what if I didn't have to sell my pZen and create sell pressure to take profit, rather take reward to a different token? That's not how this protocol works. There are specific tokenomics that make this token what it is. Taking CDBC's full control into account, how do you think we will be able to use our crypto gains in the future? Well, you've made a statement there which is probably false. Midnight Madness, you're just trolling now, so you know you're wasting your time. So, ladies and gentlemen, once again, watch out for our chat with Crypto Heartbeat later on in the week. And for now, I'm going to wish you a very good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And for those replay watchers, you're not forgetting, you are also very, very welcome. Not everybody can come on live at 2 o'clock in the afternoon on a Sunday. I'm very well aware of that fact. Much from me going forward. It looks like we finally possibly fixed the internet problems on Conrad's Island, fingers crossed. And the weather's been very kind to us for the past few days, at least. Well, apart from the fact that it is absolutely sweltering hot. For those of you who saw my video the other day of how we installed the cable, you can see how dry it is. It is drier than Texas. So, thank you so much for watching, everybody. Slanjivar, and I will see you in the next live broadcast.